I yield myself such time as I might consume.
Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you very much. I do rise today in support of H.R. 2460. The bill is sponsored by Congressman Lee Zeldin from New York, a member of the Committee on Veterans Affairs, subcommittees on Economic Opportunity and Disability Assistance, and Memorial Affairs subcommittees, and I'm grateful to him for sponsoring this piece of legislation. It actually directs the Department of Veterans Affairs to enter into an agreement or a contract with state veterans' homes to pay for adult day health care for a veteran eligible for but not receiving nursing home care. It would also stipulate that payment under each agreement or contract between VA and a state home cover the cost of adult day care for eligible veterans at a rate equal to 65% of the payment that VA would otherwise pay to the state home if the veteran were receiving home health care. Adult day health care programs provide veterans in need of skilled services, case management, or assistance with activities of daily living with valuable social activities, peer support, medical monitoring, companionship, and recreation during the day, and provide caregivers with needed respite. However, according to the National Association of State Veteran Homes, veterans face barriers accessing adult health care programs each day due to costs. This bill would help address those cost concerns and increase the degree of access for veterans that are eligible for VA paid nursing home care due to their 70% or higher service-connected rating. As the veteran population ages, Mr. Speaker, it is increasingly important that VA provide a wide variety of geriatric and long-term care services and supports, and adult day health care programs can serve as an important component of that. I urge all of my colleagues to join me in supporting this piece of legislation, and I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman from Florida reserves the balance of his time. The gentlelady from Florida is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield myself as much time as I may consume.
The gentlewoman is recognized for such time.
According to the VA, adult day health care is a program in which veterans can go to during the day for social activities, peer support, companionship, and recreation. The program is for veterans who need skilled services, case management, and help with activities of daily living. Examples include helping with bathing, dressing, fixing meals, or taking medication. This program is also for veterans who are isolated or their caregiver is experiencing burdens. Adult daycare health care can be used in combination with other home and community-based services. Health services such as care for nursing, therapists, social worker, and others may also be available. Adult day health care can provide respite care for a family caregiver and also help veterans and their caregivers gain skills to manage the veterans' care at home. This legislation would authorize the Department of Veterans Affairs to enter into agreement with state veterans' homes to provide adult health care for a veteran who is eligible for but does not receive nursing home care. Mr. Speaker, I support this legislation and urge its passage. I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentlelady reserves the balance of her time. The gentleman from Florida is recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I yield such time as he might consume to the sponsor of this piece of legislation, the gentleman from the 1st District of New York, Mr. Zeldin.
The gentleman from New York, Mr. Zeldin, is recognized for such time as he may consume.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today in support of my bill, H.R. 2460, which would expand disabled veterans' access to adult day health care, a daily program for disabled veterans who need extra assistance and special attention in their day-to-day lives. Those veterans who are 70% or more disabled from a service-connected injury often require significant assistance from others in order to carry out basic everyday tasks. Despite various care options for veterans, their choices are often limited and can come at great expense. One such program that is currently available is adult day health care. This program provides disabled veterans and their families with a high-quality alternative to nursing home care, providing quality outpatient services for those suffering from debilitating illnesses or disabilities. These programs provide a range of services from daily activities such as bathing to full medical services like physical therapy. The focus of the program is on improving disabled veterans' quality of life through an individualized plan specific to their needs while still allowing them to maintain their independence. Adult day health care programs don't only benefit the veteran, they also benefit the family members and caregivers as well. This model allows caregivers to tend to their day-to-day activities without worrying about the well-being of their spouse, child, or friend, allowing the veteran to lead a much more fulfilling life while keeping families together and strong. Adult day health care, however, is only currently offered at 3 facilities in the entire country. My district is fortunate to have one of these facilities, the Long Island State Veterans Home in Stony Brook, New York. But this program could easily be offered at any of the 153 state veterans homes across the country. Since the Department of Veterans Affairs does not currently cover the cost of participation in this program, the expense must be paid out of pocket by the veteran and their family, which significantly limits the number of veterans who can enroll. My bill, H.R. 2460, would ensure that 70% or more service-connected disabled veterans are able to receive adult day health care at no cost to the veteran and their family by defining the program as a reimbursable treatment option through the VA. This would expand this great option of care for our veterans. Currently, 52 Republicans and Democrats in this chamber have signed on as co-sponsors of this bill. I would like to thank House Veterans Affairs Committee Chairman Jeff Miller for all of his leadership as chairman of the committee, for recognizing the urgency in passing this bill. Myself, the committee, many members of this Congress, his constituents, and this country will miss him following his service this year. I would also like to thank House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy for having this bill placed on the calendar for today. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. The gentlewoman from Florida is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I urge my colleagues to support H.R. 2460, and I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentlewoman from Florida yields back the balance of her time. The gentleman from Florida is recognized.
Thank you very much. I, too, ask all my colleagues to support this piece of legislation and yield back the balance of my time.
All time having now expired on this bill, the question is, will the House suspend the rules and pass the bill H.R. 2460? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, 2/3 being in the affirmative, the rules are suspended. The bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.